Hey, Karibu to Don Africa Production. I am Mara Violet, and today we're untangling a story that, honestly, even I, as a Kenyan, have to pause and say, Yo, what happened here? Because something epic kicked off on my own streets, and it didn't just stay in Nairobi. No, it leaped across continents. Let's rewind to June 2024. The Kenyan government dropped the finance bill like a bomb. Taxes on bread, fuel, even cash sent to your mom. And you're thinking, okay, sawa, Kenyans get upset about taxes all the time, right? But this wasn't just complaining in matatus or ranting on WhatsApp groups. This time, Gen Z said enough. And I mean, it was kind of surreal to watch. On TikTok, on Insta, suddenly hashtags like Reject Finance Bill 2024 started popping everywhere. My cousin Asha, big shout out, she went full reporter mode, live streaming on Kenyatta Avenue, phone shaking, dodging tear gas, showing us the front lines with jokes I still don't think my parents would get. See, it wasn't just memes for laughs. These kids, my people, were translating 10-page government bills into viral videos in Sheng, memes, even those TikTok dances that make you think, wait, are we protesting or are we vibing? But then they left the screens. They marched. They called it Occupy Parliament. Even after Parliament tried to push this thing through, the streets just filled up more. Things got ugly. The bullets came out, and when I say lives were lost, I mean it shook people. But the movement didn't fizzle. No, it pressed harder. And I don't care who you supported. The moment the president stepped back, withdrew the bill, that was Gen Z's win. To me, that was the blueprint. Outrage online, organize offline, refuse to back down, even against real danger. And suddenly, that model, that style, that fire, other countries started watching. They started copying. Now, the part that blows my mind is how fast this blueprint traveled. Let's hit them up for a sec. Nepal, Morocco, Madagascar, Peru, all within a year, give or take, of what happened in Nairobi. Nepal jumps out first. September 2025, their government bans TikTok, thinking it'll restore social harmony. But hello, have you seen Gen Z tweets? That's basically like poking a beehive. Students rally under Occupy Baluwatar, camping outside the PM's house, live streaming, making the same snappy memes we saw in Kenya. And this time, the Prime Minister resigns. Not just a bill gone, actual regime change. Morocco's got its own remix. Government pouring cash into fancy stadiums while people can't get medicines. Feels familiar, right? Kenyan said, you tax us and give us nothing. Moroccans, we want dignity, not stadiums. Same energy, different target. Kenya wrote the outline. Morocco rewrote the chorus. Madagascar, though, whew, things escalated. Blackouts, water cuts, crushing hardship. Students took the street, demanding answers. And when authorities opened fire, the government just broke, dissolved under the weight. If Kenya was the blueprint, Madagascar was the dark mirror, deadlier, but powered by that same refusal to be silenced. And Peru, all the way in South America, government tried to shake up pensions. Young people said, we don't trust you with our futures. In Kenya, it was about taxes. In Peru, pensions. But it's the same message. We're not letting you gamble with our lives. So what's connecting all these dots? Universal frustration, absolutely. But whether these social media strategies work everywhere, honestly, it depends. Kenya and Nepal, TikTok and memes fueled the crowds. In Madagascar, it was more about sheer desperation, less about digital tactics because, let's face it, sometimes electricity is the protest issue. And in Morocco, It's the language of dignity more than tech trends. All right, let's zoom out. Because it's not just Africa or Asia. Look, Bangladesh. Students risking it all over unfair job quotas, echoing Kenyan anger at corrupt politicians. Indonesia, Timor-Leste, rallies against political elites fattening themselves, just like Kenyans calling out government waste. Nigeria, Zimbabwe, South Africa, rallies over inflation, horrible services, police violence. Latin America's got Peru, Chile, even across to Tunisia, fights over pensions, unemployment, inequality. What ties it all back? Kenya was the match. Now the wildfire is global, and governments, honestly, they're scrambling. The old tricks, blocking social media, police crackdowns, lies on TV, they're not working. Gen Z is too connected, too stubborn. So what now? Can all this protest energy actually turn into lasting change? That's the big question, right? You shake power, but can you reshape it? My advice? Gen Z, don't stop at outrage. Build. Everything from local groups to entire new parties. Turn TikTok from venting to planning. Because I promise, shaken governments will try to twist your movements, co-opt your leads, promise reforms, then disappear. And for the governments, stop underestimating youth or painting them as lazy. They learn tactics in Nairobi and apply them in Lima the next week. So if you don't tackle basics, bread, jobs, dignity, well, Kenya's the warning. Nepal, Madagascar, those are the consequences. Kenya lit the match. The only real question left is, are leaders going to douse the flames or pour on more petrol? Either way, Gen Z is not going back to sleep. And trust me, this story, yeah, it's only just getting started.